host with the most, Jennifer, as always. Welcome back. So we are talking about a documentary. I know it's been a really hot moment since I've done a documentary, but this is one that I literally just received yesterday, although by the time this video was posted, maybe a week or so ago. Whatever, doesn't matter. Whatever. But just got this. Some of you may have heard of this. I know it's a very recent release, and that is Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street. This is actually a documentary about Mark Patton and, about Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Oh my goodness, the last time that we really I should say that kind of like the first time that we had seen Mark Patton since doing Nightmare 2 was back in 2010 with the Never Sleep Again documentary. And here's the thing, though, too, for those of you who may or may not know, because I didn't really realize this. I may have heard a little bit over the years about this, but I never really realized this until I watched this documentary, that for that documentary, the Never Sleep Again one, literally the amount of work that they had to do to try and track Mark Patton down to do that documentary and participate in that documentary. Oh my god, they actually hired a private investigator, I guess, to actually try and track him down. And they had to go all the way to Mexico to find him and everything. So he was off the grid, man. Like, he was off the grid, but I'm so glad that they were able to find him for that documentary, especially, too, with some of the, stuff of, the whole gay overtones and everything, or as they called it, subtext bullshit. Those guys knew what they were doing with that movie. And then, this whole thing and everything, this whole documentary is kind of just, sort of his upbringing, Mark Patton's upbringing, moving to New York and everything, kind of about his life, his, some of his, work and everything, and then doing a play, and that play turning it into a feature-length movie, which was, Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean, which I have not seen yet, but I kind of really want to. And then going on to doing Freddy's Revenge, and then just all this sort of, negativity at the time, and certain aspects of the gay undertones, or gay tones to it and everything, and a lot of it was kind of, or at least Mark Patton's feeling like it was kind of put on him from David Chaskins and everything. So there's a lot of resentment with Mark and everything towards David Chaskin, who wrote the script to and everything. And at the end, they do kind of sit down and talk it out and everything, and a lot of issues resolved and everything. So that's something that I really kind of enjoyed about this, was that they were able to sort of clear the air and everything. And I think really, too, and Mark Patton, I think he even kind of said this after the meeting and everything, of just, being able to, clear everything and all this and stuff. And he even admitted, he's like, I can now kind of, let go of so many things that I let just kind of control my life and bring me down and everything. So it was really a good, self-reflecting moment and everything. And I'm so glad, too, because, beginning of this and everything, he was kind of talking about, once he was kind of found and everything, and he started, looking at Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street 2. God, get the franchise straight, Jenna, come on! But when he was contacted, he said that he was looking up, the movie and everything, and he just saw all these negative things and everything, and really kind of even soured the whole experience even more, and just sort of adding more fuel to the fire and everything. But I'm so glad that he has been able to kind of come around and really see that there are fans of Part 2, me included. I've talked about this several times on this channel with Part 2, that it is one of my favorite sequels in general to any franchise, but especially too with Nightmare on Elm Street. I love Part 3, I do and everything. I'll be honest, sometimes Parts 2 and 3, sometimes I'm Part 3, I'm Team Part 3, other days I'm no, Part 2 all the way. But I do love that he has been able to see all the positive impact that this movie has had across the board, both straight and gay alike. It just so beautiful for him to kind of, like I said, come around and really see all the positive, and like how much he himself has been able to be a role model among the gay community. So I'm just saying. So, but it's just, and he's so cute. Oh my God, he is adorable. Mark Patton, you are so adorable. Gosh. And then too, also he goes into like, his relationship that he had around the time of Nightmare 2, his partner, who, spoiler, unfortunately did pass away, who had AIDS and everything. And then, Mark was talking about his struggles with AIDS and everything, and just, once again, towards the end, he's doing a lot of the self-reflecting, and he was kind of looking back in his life, and it's like, you know what, I'm glad that things worked out the way they did, because, with like AIDS, I would not have been able to handle this in the public eye, so it was a good thing that this kind of happened, and I was able to kind of step away and everything, and not putting so much blame, so to speak, anymore on the reasons why he kind of stepped out. Like, he kind of a little clearer sees, like, okay, everything was meant for a reason. So, but yeah, and for him to accept Nightmare on Elm Street 2, once again, like I said, is beautiful. And there's times too, like especially towards the end, where I was really kind of getting very emotional. I was starting to tear up a little bit. That, especially too with like the whole kind of coming around and everything of, I was just like, oh, like, I was just so happy to hear that he's kind of, like, at peace with this role, with his life and everything, so, and really embracing being an idol and being an influence to so many people, especially, like, younger and everything, so, it's just, but, yeah, no, you guys need to check this out. I have not really seen this on any streaming services yet. I could be wrong, I have not checked every single streaming service, but once again, guys, if you know of this being on a streaming service or YouTube, feel free to put it in the comments. I do not mind that, because for stuff like this, I want people to be able to see it. I mean, I bought this on Amazon. It wasn't really all that expensive from what I remember. So, I mean, even if you want to kind of splurge on it, so, but yeah, it just, so, Mark Patton, gracias. My little, 6-year-old self when I first saw this movie, now my 36-year-old self, just thank you, and now it's an amazing thing is that he's now this advocate and everything, an activist, and like, oh my God, like, just see, once again, like, one of those success stories that, like, yeah, we may not have had a brilliant movie career from Mark Patton, but on the other hand, being this activist and everything is, it's my boy right there. I'm just saying. But check this out, you guys. Let me know what you think of it if you have seen it already. Till next time, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.